everyone, and welcome to class. Today's flow is going to focus on some just gentle hip mobility, feel-good poses to help wind down the body, maybe after a more active, more energetic exercise, whether it's hiking, running, biking, anything like that. Maybe you're feeling a little bit sore and just want to create space, loosen up a little bit. This will be a really good class for that. So if you are feeling like you need a little bit more support, you can always grab a set of blocks, but likely not needed for today's flow. So whenever you have your space to practice, go ahead and meet me in Shavasana. We're going to start on our backs. Now when coming into this space, go ahead and bring the feet flat, knees bent, hook behind the thighs, and slowly lower down. Take a pause here, maybe windshield wiper the hips side to side. Nothing big. Just enough to kind of just say hello to the body. As you slowly make your way to a nice open starting space. Legs extended towards the top of the mat, arms nice and wide. And come into the space, or maybe even rest one hand on the chest, one hand on the belly. Coming into a few rounds of breath. Feeling the rise and fall of the belly. The expansion of the chest with every inhale. The settling with every exhale. Just giving yourself an opportunity to find a little bit of calmness, some steadiness, some relaxation. Arriving onto your mat today. And then take one deep cleansing breath by sealing the lips, deep belly breath, inhaling all the way from the belly, base of the lungs, feeling the lift of the chest, pausing at the top. And then open the mouth, deep exhale, expelling all that stale air. Go ahead and bring the right knee in towards the chest. Go ahead and lace the fingers just below the right knee. And find some movement right away, taking some circles of the hips, or the hip, the thigh. Taking big circles. And then go ahead and settle into that compression, bring the right knee in towards the right armpit, maybe alongside the torso. And then go ahead and bring that right knee across the body over towards the left side, reaching the right fingertips into a capital T. Feeling that twist through the belly. Trying to keep that right shoulder blade anchored onto the floor. Still trying to find those nice deep breaths. Feeling your body settle into the shape of every exhale. And then go ahead and come back towards center. Go ahead, find just a moment of compression, right knee back in towards the chest. And then extend the right leg out nice and long. Left knee in towards the chest. Find some movement right away, explore those circles. Just seeing how that hip is feeling. And then settle into that compression. And as the left knee comes into the chest, maybe you're reaching the right heel towards the top of the mat, finding a little bit more length, more opening through the front of the right thigh. And then with the right hand, go ahead and take the knee over towards the right side, reaching the left fingertips over towards the left. So you're staying nice and long and open as you twist through the belly. Not forcing any depth to your twist, just allowing that left knee to fall heavy. Keep breathing into the belly. And go ahead and come back to center. Bring that left knee in for just one more squeeze. Feel that compression. Then extend the left leg long. Really stretch everything out. We're reaching both heels towards the top of the mat as you reach the fingertips up and overhead. Like you're doing a big stretch first thing in the morning. Really feel the pull from opposite poles all the way through the belly. And then go ahead and walk the feet towards your hips, bending the knees, scooping the tailbone underneath you, feeling the back flat against the mat. And then go ahead and bring one knee into the chest at a time, grabbing hold of opposite wrists, and then maybe rocking side to side. And then from here, we're going to make our way towards the top of the mat. So what you can do is you can rock and roll on the back, so hooking the back of the thighs, and then just kind of rocking back and forth until you find the momentum that suits you to find your way to a forward fold to the top of your mat. Or if that seems like it's too energetic for you in this moment, you can always just keep this little egg shape you have, knees to chest, and you can roll over onto your side. Push yourself up and make your way to the top of the mat that way. So find a space that feels good for you. Either way, we're finding our way towards the top of the mat, finding a forward fold. And when we get here, keep a generous bend in the knees and maybe sway your weight side to side. Feeling your belly fall heavy onto the thighs. Feeling that nice tractioning throughout the spine as the head falls heavy towards the floor. And with that traction, with that heaviness of the torso, maybe slowly starting to find a little bit more length within the legs as you press down through the soles of the feet. Nice and gently lifting the sit bones, the tailbone up towards the sky. Maybe grabbing hold of the backs of the ankles to help nice and gently encourage that folded shape. But wherever you are, just releasing the tension within the neck, the jaw. Deepen the bend within your knees, and then slowly round the body all the way up to standing, taking a nice and slow pace journey up to your Tadasana. And when you slowly round the shoulders back and down, you sweep the arms up and overhead, finishing that inhale. Exhale, hands come down through heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms up, reach the fingertips up nice and tall, stretch through the sides of the body. Grab hold of the left wrist, finish that reach, and then exhale, side body stretch over towards the right, bumping the hips over towards the left. Now this may be everything that you need. If you need a little bit more support or you want to work your way into the hip a little bit more, go ahead and curtsy that left foot behind the right. And then really bump those hips over towards the left side as you reach the fingertips over towards the right. Almost like you're creating a nice bow, a nice arc with the whole left side. Inhale back through center. Grab hold of the right wrist. Exhale. Side body stretch over towards the right. Maybe take the curtsy, maybe you don't. Either way, it's just fun. You're exploring the space within the right rib cage. Inhale back through center. Then exhale, hands come through heart center as you slowly fold back down. Inhale, hands plant, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come down to the earth. Step the left foot back, the right foot back. Find your high plank for just a pause. So you're staying strong and engaged through the upper body. Shoulder blades come down the backside of the rib cage as you gently pull the chest and heart forward just a pinch. Engage through the belly, through the backs of the hips, driving those heels back behind you in a strong, engaged shape. And then soft bend in the knees, press yourself up and back, downward facing dog. Feel the creaks, the cracks work their way out through your body. And then shimmy and shake in your downward facing dog, pedaling out the feet, bumping the hips left to right. Stretching out through the hips, the backs of the legs, the side bodies, the rib cages, the upper back. Whatever you need, and just feel free to explore it. Take the advantage of the freedom. And on your next inhale, right leg lifts high and back behind you. Exhale, soft bend in the left knee as you drive the right knee towards the right elbow. Make that connection happen so that you can bring your right foot outside the right hand. Let that left hip drop down. Staying on the palms of the hands or maybe even the fingertips if you need a little bit of support. I did mention blocks first thing, so if you want to grab blocks, you can always slide those underneath your hands as well. And just shift your weight forward and back, up and over those back toes, and then driving that back heel towards the back edge of the mat. Working your way into the hips. Pause and settle into your shape. Hug that right knee in. Keep your spine nice and lifted. And then drop the back knee straight down so you're still nice and long in your shape. Open within the front of the left hip. And then send the hips back behind you. Lift the right toes. So those hips are going straight back in space. Keep a bend in that right knee as you work into the back line of that right leg. From here, maybe walking the hands outside the right leg. Keep reaching that right hip back in space. So working into the right hip, opening up through the left side body. Walk the hands back forward, between the right, inside the right foot. Shift your weight forward, back into the right foot. Pause in that low lunge. Lift up through the chest. And then from here, plant the right hand. Go ahead and kickstand the left foot back behind you. So that left foot's now over on the right side of the mat. And then go ahead and, well, you can pop up actually. So you don't have to keep those hands grounded right now. What I want you to do is just shift forward and back into this modified side angle, if you will. So that right foot still at the top of the mat, that left leg is kickstand back behind you. And I just want you to shift in and out of that right knee, opening through the inner thighs. So staying lifted within the torso, just explore your space, explore the sensations here in this moment, see how you're feeling. And then within the next breath or so, really settle into that front knee. So that knee is tracking over the top of that right foot. Plant the right hand, or if you'd like to stay lifted, that's always available. And then sweep the left arm down and up and overhead as you spin the chest, the heart over towards the left side. So if you feel like you're scrunched within the right side of your body, come up, right forearm onto right thigh. Go ahead and bring the left hand down to meet the right. Bring the left foot back to the center of the mat. Lift the back knee. And then send the hips back in space, come into extended pyramid pose. Bring that left hip point down. And you'll feel your right hip pull back in space as that happens. Bend into the right knee, hands plant. Bring the right foot back to meet the left. Pause in your high plank, integrate for a moment. And then soft bend in the knees, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Second side, inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, soft bend in the right knee as the left knee drives to the left elbow. Make that connection happen. And then plant the left foot outside the left hand. Come right into that sway, forward and back. With every sway in and out of that back foot, feeling the hips start to settle into the shape, fall a little bit heavier. Again, you can stay on the palms, you can stay lifted on the fingertips, you can grab a set of blocks. Be wherever you need to be. Keeping that left knee hugged in. And then start to settle into your space, into a depth that feels good, where you feel a nice sensation within the front of the right hip. Chest is lifted. And then slowly drop the back knee down. Feel that change in sensation so that long light of energy should still be present within the back thigh. And then go ahead and send the hips back in space, coming to half splits pose, those left toes lift. Fingertips are still reaching towards the top of the mat. As the tailbone, that back of that left hip reaches back in space. Soft bend in that left knee as we work through that space. You can stay here, or if you want to change up the sensation a little bit, you can walk the hands outside the left leg. Keep pulling that left hip back in space. Walk the hands back towards center, inside that left foot. Bend back into that left knee. Plant the left foot. Find that low lunge once more. And then kickstand the right leg over towards the left. So your shin's now parallel-ish towards the top and back of the mat. Right foot's over on the left side. Pop yourself up. So again, coming into that modified variation of a side angle. And you're just gonna shift your weight in and out of this space. Working into the inner lining of both thighs. Feel how this might feel a little bit different from side one. Maybe you're feeling the same tension side to side. Just work into your space. Staying lifted within the low belly. Maybe a gentle engagement of the back of the hips, so you're keeping your hips forward. Or I should say underneath you. So everything should be stacked on top of the hips here in this space. And then within the next breath or so, settle into your shape. Forearm can be on the thigh or it can be down inside that left foot. And then you sweep your right arm down and up and overhead as you spin the chest over towards the right side of the room. Again, if you feel crammed in this space, if it doesn't feel comfortable, always come out of it, stay lifted, and use that connection to help spin the chest over. Gaze can be wherever you need it to be, to find steadiness, to be present. And then go ahead and close it off. Right hand comes down to meet the left. Bring the right foot back behind you, lift the back knee. Pause in this low lunge for a moment, and then send the hips back, coming into extended pyramid pose. Front foot can be lifted or it can be grounded, whatever you need. Plant the left foot, come back into that lunge. To help transition to high plank, integrate. Nice and strong. And then slow and with control, roll over the back toes, let the hips sink. Come into either high cobra or an upward facing dog. Allow the front of the hips to open up. Lift the low belly to help create that space, maybe rocking side to side. And then drop the knees, send the hips back, child's pose. Feel all the muscles along the spine slowly start to open up, to lengthen as the sit bones try to connect to the heels. The tailbone gently tucks underneath. And find a breath or two breathing into the back body. Then go ahead and walk the hands back towards your knees. Come up into just a kneeling position here. And then go ahead and bring your fingertips beyond the toes. And just gentle tuck of the tailbone underneath you as you press the hip points forward. Roll the shoulders out and away from one another as you puff the chest and the heart up towards the sky. Opening through the front of the body, through the hips. Gaze up towards the ceiling. Exhale, lower. Go ahead and bring your sit bones towards the earth, feet out in front of you. And then slowly make your way onto your backs. Feet flat, knees bent. Bring the right ankle cross over the left thigh. Come into a reclined figure four, reclined pigeon. And then you're going to bring the left knee in towards the chest, so lace your fingers just below the left knee. Hug your shape in towards you. Keeping that right hip crease, that right knee. Aiming it towards the top right corner. Keep your shape nice and open as it can be. Go ahead and drop the left foot down towards the mat. Keep your shape. Grab hold of your right ankle to help do so, and then allow everything to fall over towards the left. Feel that twist with that added little stretch of the outer right hip. Right arm could be in a capital T. And find your breath once more, maybe even soften the gaze, close the eyes. Go ahead and bring everything back towards center. Unravel, switch sides, left ankle crosses over the right thigh. Establish your shape to start. And then bring that right knee in towards the chest. As that right knee comes towards the right armpit, you're encouraging that left hip crease, that outer edge of that left knee to aim towards the top left corner of the mat. Go ahead and drop the sole of the right foot down towards the earth. Grab hold of that left ankle to keep your shape, and then allow everything to fall over towards the right. Feel that side body stretch, that hip stretch, that twist. Keeping the chest, the heart open towards the sky. Bring everything back towards the center. Unhook the left from the right. Then go ahead and bring both knees in towards your chest. Go ahead and rock side to side. Give it a good squeeze. And then slowly open everything up. Maybe giving yourself that big stretch once more, reaching the fingertips towards the top of the mat, heels, or fingertips towards the back of the mat, heels towards the top of the mat, stretching all the way through the belly, through the hips, the armpits, lengthening through the sides of the body. Deep inhale. Exhale. Settle into whatever variation of Shavasana feels good. And by that, I mean make your shape as big or as small as you would like. Arms can be out wide. Arms can be on the belly, on the chest if you'd like to be in more of an introverted, more connected, self-connected space. And breathe. Find softness, find stillness. Allow your mind, your body to settle. And at this point, close your eyes. Soften the entirety of the body, using your breath. Remaining in this space for as long as you need. I hope this was able to allow you to find a little bit more space, a little bit more comfort, ease in your body. And as always, I thank you so much for coming to practice with me. It is a true pleasure being your guide in this practice. I look forward to seeing you all next time, and I hope you have an awesome rest of your day.